He called you crazy, but only after you caught him in a lie. He didn't explain. He didn't take responsibility. He flipped it, made you the problem. Now you're the one spiraling, wondering if you came on too strong, if you misread the situation, if you should have just let it go. But here's what's really happening. He's not defending himself. He's discrediting you. Because if he can make you feel unstable, he doesn't have to be accountable. That's not just lying. That's emotional gaslighting. I'm Soke, a father of 3 daughters. I teach them a system called EBT, evidence-based thinking, to protect them and hundreds of women from relationship regrets. One daughter kept choosing different types of men, but ended up with the same kind of pain. The other just started dating. I knew advice wasn't enough. Hope wasn't enough. They needed a system that works in real time, in real situations. In this video, I'll show you how EBT separates what you feel from what he wants you to believe, so you can stop second guessing yourself and start taking your power back by trusting the evidence. You'll learn 3 EBT tools: how to ignore the emotional bait and stay on the issue, how to separate feelings from facts so they can't flip it on you, and how to use probabilistic thinking to see the real odds of change. Because if you don't have these tools, you'll keep defending your tone instead of exposing the truth. And every time you let him spin the story, you lose more of your voice while he keeps more of his control. Here's how the emotional bait and switch works. You catch him lying. He says you're being paranoid. Now you're apologizing for asking a question. He raises his voice, but he says you're overreacting. You bring up how distant he's been lately, and somehow you're the one getting a lecture about trust. This isn't an argument. It's a tactic. It's emotional gaslighting dressed up as concern. And the worst part, it works. Because now you're stuck defending your tone instead of pointing at the truth. You're not overreacting. You're reacting to the facts. So stop explaining your feelings to someone who won't even acknowledge what happened. EBT teaches redirect the conversation, don't defend against his deflection. You didn't fall for the wrong guy because you were naive. You fell because no one ever taught you how to filter a person's behavior with evidence. That's what this book does. If you've ever said, I should have seen it, he was so consistent at first, maybe I was just overreacting, then stop guessing and dating was written for you. This isn't another dating checklist. It's based on the same system I taught my daughters to stop second guessing themselves by trusting the evidence in front of them. It's not about being more guarded. It's about being more grounded. And the moment you read it, something in you will finally say, I knew it. I just didn't know how to name it. Download the book now. It's free for the first 100 people. After that, it becomes a paid product. EBT doesn't just help you see the emotional bait. It teaches you how to block it without getting pulled in. Here's how. Number 1, ignore the bait. Stay on the issue. Narcissists throw guilt, blame, and emotions at you for one reason: to get you to stop asking real questions. So the next time he says, you're being unfair, you always do this, why are you attacking me? Don't argue. Don't explain. Don't react. Just stay on the issue. Say, we're not talking about that. I asked you about what happened yesterday. No defense, no detour, just redirection. EBT teaches, don't take the bait. Stay on the facts. Number 2, when you ask for the truth, they'll say, why are you so upset? You're just being sensitive. But that's not what you said. So you say, I didn't say I was upset. I'm asking for understanding. This breaks the emotional frame. You're not overreacting, you're requesting evidence. EBT teaches separate emotion from intention. Keep the focus on the question. Number 3, use probabilistic thinking, but this is for internal use only. When someone keeps promising change but never follows through, you don't wait for them to convince you. You calculate the odds. He's promised change 5 times, followed through once. That's a 20% pattern of truth. And now you're not hoping. You're projecting forward with the evidence. EBT teaches hope is not a strategy. Evidence is. This is how you stop chasing emotional reassurance and start demanding real proof. Let me show you what it looks like in real life. Let's talk about Shania. One of my clients, we'll call her Shania, came to me after her 3rd almost breakup. Each time he hurt her, each time he cried, promised change, and said, I didn't mean it like that. And every time she took him back. Why? Because he felt bad, because he seemed sincere, because she thought emotions meant truth. But EBT teaches you to track behavior, not apologies. So we walked through the last 6 months of her texts. 6 promises to do better, 1 actual change. That's an 83% failure rate. So I asked her, if a man lied to you 83% of the time, would you believe the next promise? She got quiet. Then she said, I never looked at it like that before. I've been believing his feelings instead of his follow through. That's when things shifted. Next time he started guilt tripping, she didn't argue. She didn't cry. She didn't beg. She just said, this isn't about how you feel. It's about what you did. And when he said, I promise I'll change, she didn't answer. She opened up her evidence log. 7 promises, 1 result. She already had her answer. That's what EBT does. It turns emotion into data. So you stop spinning and start deciding. Here are the results from the first quiz. CC, B, CD. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Now let's see what you took away from this video so far. Drop your answers in the comment and I'll reveal the answers in the next video. Number 1. What is the purpose of redirecting when someone tries to guilt trip or play victim? A, to avoid conflict. B, to protect their feelings. C, to stay focused on the real issue. Or D, to keep the conversation polite. Number 2, why is separating feelings from fact an effective strategy? A, it shows you are emotionally intelligent. B, it protects overreactions. C, it removes their ability to dismiss you as too emotional. Or D, it makes the narcissist feel heard. Number 3, what does EBT suggest you use to assess repeated behavior? A, journaling. B, emotional awareness. C, probabilistic thinking. Or D, relationship affirmations. Number 4, what's the internal EBT question when someone has promised change but failed multiple times? A, he's really trying this time. B, how did that make me feel? C, what's the chances he's being honest now? D, should I give him one more shot? Number 5, what is the goal of demanding evidence over emotion? A, to avoid manipulation and make evidence-led decisions. B, to stay calm in conflict. C, to catch him lying. Or D, to protect their ego. You were never taught how to protect yourself from your own hope. Hope is why you let him do less while you do more. Hope is why you lowered your standards just to keep the connection. Hope is why you stayed quiet when you should have spoken up. But hope without evidence, that's how you lose yourself. Now, Now that you know better, it's time to do the work, not to become less emotional, not to fix yourself, but to get your power back, to trust what you already know and stop handing that trust to people who haven't earned it. You don't have to do it by yourself. This session is a space where you stop spinning and start deciding with evidence, not emotion. No more waiting to be chosen. No more trying to prove your worth. No more guessing. Book your one-on-one session. Let's do the work together. And this time, we're doing it with evidence. To the daughters, he didn't call you crazy because you were wrong. He called you crazy because you were right, and he needed to flip it before you figured that out. That's not confusion. That's control. He raised his voice to drown your evidence. He guilt-tripped you to distract you from what you caught. And you started explaining yourself instead of defending the truth you already knew. But that ends here. You don't need to justify your tone. You don't need to prove that your question was valid. You don't need to keep handing over your reality just to keep the peace. Because if someone only feels safe when you feel unstable, you're not in a relationship. You're in a war with your own judgment. And every time you try to explain what he refuses to acknowledge, you're not being heard. You're only being trained to doubt yourself. But now you know what gaslighting really is. It isn't just lying, it's making you feel guilty for catching the lie. So if you've been spinning, wondering if maybe you were too sensitive, too emotional, too much, stop. You're not too much. You are too aware, and that scared him. To the daughters who are done apologizing for seeing what's real, this is where you trust yourself louder than he can twist it. This is where you get your power back. Let the evidence lead the way. This was just one part of the full system that keeps you safe from emotional manipulation. Click here to watch the next one and keep building the woman who decides, not doubts.